This is a Samsung Galaxy A90.
And this is borderline the flagship. Why? It has a flagship chip. It has 5G out of all things. And it supports Samsung DeX. It's the only A series device to ever support Samsung DeX. Now,
the specs of the phone, well, this is basically a freaking glorified Galaxy A70 with flagship internals. Basically a chip and the camera swapped. Basically the camera is from the A80 and the chip is from the S10 lineup, or the flagships of the American variety, or the Fold in general. The screen is probably the same as the A70. The frame is metal, the back is glass. So I believe like this and A80 are the only 2019 Samsung phones of the A series that has a glass back. And also, like flagships, this got updated to One UI 4, as you can tell, because the icons are colored and stuff. The screen of a Nugget is a 1080p Super AMOLED display, probably the same from the A70, secured by Gorilla Glass 6. It can run up to Android 12 One UI 4, which is what it ends now. It has a Snapdragon 855 processor inside with 5G, which is basically the only reason why it has such a processor. It has 6 GB of dedicated RAM, though you can get an 8 GB version. Except the 8 GB RAM version somehow for some reason doesn't have a freaking micro SD slot, so weird, but okay. Camera, this is a main 41 megapixel camera. This is a thing. It's depth sensor. I got no idea. And this is an ultra wide camera, which is 8 megapixels. So 48, 8, and God knows what this is. Just hey, it has 3 cameras. The 2 of them do something. The third one, I know, just exists. So we can say it has 3 cameras. Also has an LED flash. It can record up to 4K 30, 1080p, 60, 30, and it can also do slow motion. The selfie camera is 30 megapixels, and it has like a bit of debris in the lens, but that doesn't affect the image quality. Both of them do HDR. Down here it has a USB Type-C port and a speaker and a microphone, but no auxiliary jack. Up here it's a SIM tray and another microphone. It supports micro SD, but only the lesser RAM version for whatever reason. And yes, it's USB 3.1 by the way, not 2.0 like the vast majority of A series. The battery is a 4,500 milliamp hour cell and can fast charge up to 25 watts. It only comes in black and white, which is kind of lame. Because, you know, I'm a fan of phones of color. And, yep. This is kind of a rare nugget, because it was pretty expensive for an A series device. Though it also is literally borderline flagship. It's not really a flagship, but it's not really a mid-ranger. It's like an in-between. Which is, yeah. Anyway, the main reason of this thing is having 5G. It was made like this to just have 5G on an A series phone, basically to have a cheap-ish 5G phone. Because, ooh, it's 2019 and 5G is a whole new thing. You fast internet, mate. That's why it exists. Anyway, performance fine. We can run the freaking benchmark to see how that performs. And it gets a score of 238,388. Which, for some reason, is worse than the Galaxy A90, even though it has a better chip. Getting a vibe, this chip may be underclocked. Let's see. You ain't getting flagship performance for not paying the flagship price. In terms of gaming, since I already messed with some demo stuff on this app, on this phone, we can play Asphalt 9. Just gonna I don't like the controls. I could have just selected the better ones, but this is what you get. Yes. It crashed. It couldn't handle my sloppy driving. Right. Anyway. Yeah. You try this. Yeah, I don't need your overly too long intro. Snowman. Yeah, I think it games. Why does bro keep crashing? Anyway, it performs fine. Not flagship performance, because then this is probably underclocked. So it wouldn't be like the flagship. Okay, let me check one. Actually, according to what it says on the freaking GSM Arena, it's not underclocked. The ones have the same clock speed, but though, who knows if this is just not a generic thing, because the chip is like that. Yeah, I guess we'll never know. So it games, it runs G benchmark, it runs stuff. What about stuff like, say, what about the 41 megapixel camera on the back? Well, since it has a 48 megapixel camera, allegedly the same sensor as on the A80, there's only one way to test the 48 megapixel photo taking performance, and that is with the Lumia 1020, the 41 megapixel camera phone. So let's see. By taking a photo of a damn Nokia speaker, because of course. Okay, so the photos of the overly bright object has been taken, and now the 1020, it did its best. The photos are like really overexposing the speaker, because that's, I mean, it looks neon green, which, I mean, yeah, it kind of does, but not to that extent. and you can barely read the Nokia logo here. And in terms of detail, there's nice blur. You can kind of see the holes on the speaker grill, especially when you're not shaking the damn phone. They're very clear here. And yeah, the texture of the mouse pad it's on is also like super clear, including the crap that's in it that cannot be washed. On this, I took two photos, the 12 megapixel one and the 41 megapixel one. So 12 megapixel one, you can see the Nokia logo as clear as day. What it did happen is like the background elements are very dark. It's all dark. Basically, the speaker is like in a void or something. Like you barely even see the keyboard apart from the keys in the backlight. On the 41 megapixel shot, it's more the same. It's a little bit better. You can see you can see the mouse pad's texture quite clear. Stop zooming out. But in my opinion, the 1020 did a better job in this case. In terms of like the speaker, it's way better. It's way better than the 1020. Look at the fucking difference. Like, here's the actual thing itself. It's like the same color. This is just no. And yeah, you can pick up the chips that are on the speaker grill. The background though, it's like the A90 did a way worse job than the 1020. Because it's nicely blurred and you can see all the stuff back there. On the A90, well, the exposure, yeah, just black. Can't see shit. And yeah, so the A90 wins. It has 7 more megapixels, so of course it does, because that's what it makes sense. No, the processing is better on the A90. That's why it wins, even though like the sensor in the 1020 is better. A90's camera is theoretically better. Even though it's not perfect, it's better, because I was taking photo of the speaker, and the speaker looks like it's, you know, it's there. And yeah, last but not least, let's take a look at the Samsung DeX. And since this is running One UI 4, don't have to bust out a capture card or anything, as I can just plug it into my computer and run it on there, because DeX on PC exists. Even though Samsung says it's not, because they killed it. I wonder why. And here we are. This is Samsung DeX on the Galaxy A90. As you can see here. I mean, since this is DeX for PC and it's running over a USB cable, it's not going to be as smooth as just plugged in directly into your monitor. So can't really test out the performance without busting out the graphics card, but it runs as you would expect them to. You can do multitasking and multitasking over the A90, the DeX. And like here's me opening like 50 windows. No, I can only do 5. Damn. And hey, I can even... Okay. I can even game with the keyboard and mouse, which is why we would which is basically why the Dex exists. It's basically why Dex is. It's basically why Dex exists. So yeah, way better than doing the funny turning the phone around type of thing. I can actually drive. The game still crashes though. And yeah, that would be pretty much it. So
there's the A90. It's a flagship, but not really. It's basically a glorified A70. That's thicker and more premium. That is. That's pretty much it. So, thanks for watching and goodbye.